Hi there, welcome to Simple or Not Kitchen. Today we are making this really delicious 2-ingredient frosting, and this frosting is super good. It's not too sweet and it only uses 2 ingredients. We're going to need 2 sticks of butter and about 14 ounces of sweetened condensed milk, and we are going to just mix it all up together in our stand mixer. This recipe is super delicious and it's not technically difficult, but there are a few areas where it can go wrong. And we're going to take our 2 sticks of butter, put them in our stand mixer, and then with our whisk attachment, we're going to just let the whisk go ahead and whip the butter. We want it nice and fluffy. This takes about 8 minutes, and we're going to be scraping down the sides from time to time as well. And this takes a while. We want it to go for about 8 minutes so it gets nice and light and fluffy. And then gradually we are going to start adding that sweetened condensed milk. So I have my stand mixer on almost the highest setting, and it's going pretty fast, and gradually we're going to be adding in the sweetened condensed milk just a little bit at a time. So we have about 14 ounces of sweetened condensed milk, and I'm just putting a few drops in at a time and letting them become fully incorporated into the butter before adding a little bit more. And patience is really the key in making this delicious frosting, and it is worth it. And so I whipped the butter for probably about 8 to 9 minutes, and then adding in the sweetened condensed milk definitely took, probably another 5 minutes or so. So it takes about 15 minutes to make this frosting, which is a little bit longer than some other frostings, but it is truly delicious. And definitely worth that added time and effort. And throughout this process, we are going to go ahead and just scrape down the sides of the bowl. And trust me, this frosting is so delicious and only 2 ingredients. But again, patience is key. We want to make sure we're scraping down the sides of our bowl, and we want to make sure that our sweetened condensed milk is fully incorporated with that whipped butter. So we want to find that fine line between not over whipping it, but also fully incorporating our milk. So there goes some more sweetened condensed milk. And by the way, you guys, I just love sweetened condensed milk. I think it's one of the best inventions out there. So if we overmix our mixture, it is going to become soupy, and that's not really the consistency that we want. And although I'm leaving my frosting white, you can also add some food coloring, of course, if you'd like. You could also add some cocoa powder. That would be super delicious to make a nice chocolatey frosting. And so now that our frosting is done, and I did overmix it a little bit, you can see it's a little bit soupy, so I'm going to go ahead and move it into a plastic bag, and I'm going to refrigerate it for a little bit before I start piping it onto my cookies. And of course, if you have a piping bag, you could put it in the piping bag. I'm just using a plastic bag. So after my frosting was in the refrigerator for about an hour, it firmed up really nicely, and we can go ahead and just start playing with it. As you can see, it's that nice, perfect frosting texture, and you can go ahead and pipe it onto your cupcakes, your brownies, or just about anything that you want frosting for. It's nice and light, and it's slightly sweet, but not overly sweet, and you can taste the butter in it. It's really a good frosting. So I'm going to go ahead and use it on these little sugar cookies that I made. I love these little cinnamon sugar cookies. So I'm just going to put a little bit of the frosting on there, and then I'm going to take some cinnamon sugar and I'm just going to sprinkle it right on top, and yum. These are the best cookies, especially during the fall and Christmas season. It's just a delightful little cookie. If you give this frosting recipe a try, let me know how it turned out. I'd be really curious to know if it worked for you. And you'll find more recipes, articles, and video at PenelCentral.com. Thanks so much for watching.